What's going on, YouTube? It's the time you've all been waiting for. It's going to be the garage reveal. We're going to go through the garage, some of the stuff that it took to make this actually get built and work. Without further ado... Oh, what the f*** is this?
Me, I'm an idiot.
Yes, I still don't have a driveway, but it's coming. I promise. This week, supposedly. That's what I'm told. So, let's check out this shop. Actually, before we do that, let's look at what it took to get this shop live. Starting at the side of the house, we have a whole new load center, 320 amps total. Half of that is split to the house, half of that is split to the new shop. All this had to be trenched down to the primary pole, because I used to have aerial service. So I had to trench all this out, put 2-inch conduit for the power, and then I put an accessory conduit in for like Comcast and fiber optic, anything we add in the future. So off the main panel, then had to trench more and more. And right about here, I went ahead and did some more conduit for my office in the house, running fiber optic, and then merging down and up to the shop.
I never thought.
That's where all the service goes into the shop. So, you might be wondering, what's the deal with the rock? So the deal with the rock is, to build a building this large, this one is 2,400 square feet. When it rains, and it does a lot in Florida, you displace lots of water. So I have gutters on my building, and obviously those are downspouts. So what was happening, anytime it would rain, you would get a deluge of water coming out of here, almost like a fire hose. So to mitigate that, went ahead and buried these 9x9 inch rain culverts. There's 4-inch corrugated pipe going all the way down the length of the building. There's one at each downspout. And what this does is it takes all the water waste off the building and then shoots it down to the street, down into a covert that I don't have to deal with. So, all this was also trenched out for all the drainage. And all this was trenched out for drainage. I've been doing a lot of digging. So outside of digging, this is what the building looks like. So some specs on the building. It is a Freedom Steel 40 by 60, which is 2,400 square feet. And both doors are 10 by 10. So it gives me ample room to get cars in and out. So the plan for the driveway is it's going to be flush up to the edge of the building on both sides. So it's going to be a 40-foot skirt. And instead of coming out straight, because of the way this fence is and everything, it's going to kind of taper down. I don't know if you can see that on video, the orange paint. Taper down through the fence, because I've already driven on here a bunch of times, seeing how the turn-in is to get in that door. It's going to taper down, come up to my fence line. And then they're kind of weird out here because there's always the chance that they may pave. So at the fence line, I'm going to stop the concrete and do crushed aggregate that they kind of compress down and almost look like blacktop, only a little lighter. So we should have plenty of room to park cars, new projects, anything else that we need to park out here. So let's check out the shop. This is actually finished, that we got power, the floors are done, and obviously I have cars in here now. So for the floors, any area that is considered a work area, it's coated with oil repellent. So that's over there and over here. And then any other main use piece of concrete is densified and water repellent. Kind of cut down on cost a little by doing it that way. In addition to the floors being coated, all the expansion joints are filled with Sikaflex, which is a flexible rubber. So none of these joints are going to get dirt, water, grease, coolant. Nothing's stuck in them. So everything's nice and sealed. It's easy to broom out. So kind of how I explained it in older videos. This side was kind of the work area. So we have our first bend pack lift here. And shortly, hopefully, because I ordered it before January, we're going to have the second lift right about here. So that way, long-term projects can be at this lift. Short-term projects can be over here. All my toolboxes, fabrication equipment, or all live around here. And then on the racks, it's going to be a mixture of parts for vehicles currently being worked on, extra parts in bins. Try to get that a little more organized as I go. On this side, this is going to be kind of like a staging area. You could pull cars in here if they're being driven or stored, and then kind of the longer term storage can be over here. Originally I wanted a 4-post lift here to kind of get more cars up and out of the way. Can't quite pull that off just yet, but maybe in the future. So we're already pre-run power for it, and pre-run power over there for the next bend pack when it comes. Over in this area is kind of the detailing area. Detailing supplies, paints, ample storage, tent for detailing stuff outside when the driveway is finally here. And then over here, don't mind the mess, still working on stuff. It's kind of like some of the larger tools that don't really have a home anywhere else. They could just kind of hang out, be stored here. Trying to keep the building as comfortable as possible. All this insulation is 4-inch, and then anywhere that there are seams for the building, because these buildings aren't quite 100% airtight, I've spray foamed and caulked and sealed as best as I can. So now environmentally for the main building, we have a dehumidifier, and what that does is pull all the moisture out of the air and dump the excess water outside the building. And then it's not completed yet, obviously, but from this I-beam over to just about in front of the door, I'm going to build in and kind of make an office. So obviously there's going to be a slight shop man cave in here with the couch and the Xbox. Got my racing setup I'm going to put right here. And then storage for certain things that need to be environmentally controlled, so not out in general populace. It's going to be AC'd in here. The vinyl cutter, if you haven't ordered your stickers yet, link down below. And my 3D printer will ultimately go here. Fabricate some parts out of it. Little desk, get some work done, and more storage. So again, this is a Freedom Steel building. They're located, I think it's Delray Beach. So from start to finish with them, everything was great. They engineered the building to my specs and what I wanted out of this building. And they, in the engineering process, are cognizant of what you're trying to do and will change stuff if need be. So originally these walls were supposed to be 12 feet, but once you start adding a 10 by 10 door, the tolerances at the 12:1 pitch get really close. So they had the mindset of actually raising the walls to 12.5 feet. So that was able to accommodate the 10 by 10 doors and have everything fit. So for future plans on how to make this a little more personalized, what I want to do in this back corner is wall this in, and then obviously there's going to be a wall here for the built-in office area. I'm going to do cabinetry around in an L shape to be kind of like a work area, and then that will allow for like saw tools, drill presses, stuff like that to be over here. There's going to be a air compressor here that is going to drive air spools. That'll be one here and one down there, so that both lifts have accessible air. And then there's 220 over here for the welder, and potentially an oven over here later on if I want to start doing some powder coating of smaller parts. And all the electrical is done through conduit. My electrician did an amazing job of routing everything up and out of the way. Everything's bent nicely. So that's all that came to mind on the shop. If you guys have any more questions, put them in the comments and I'll answer them if I can. Even prices if you guys are really that interested. But again, every red iron builder is going to be a little bit different. The amount of work that you put in may differ from what I did, so your price may vary. And state by state and different states' codes may vary, so you may have to do more or may have to even do less. So like I said, I'll answer what I can. So sneak preview time. As some of you know and you've seen on the Instagram, Facebook, or community, Camaro's running. Camaro's beautiful, works perfect. It is registered, it is street legal, it is insured. So what we're going to do with the Camaro is we've got some side skirts to put on it to finish the ZL1 look. We've got some laser cut center caps because I had 3D printed some, and anytime heat cycled to them they warped, so we're going to replace those with metal. I'm going to put a new belt on, Hurst shifter, some BMR drop springs, and then we're going to detail this thing and officially list it for sale. So if you guys are looking for a 2010 Camaro RS 2SS with a manual TR6060, I got a car for you. Amazing thing about LEDs is with the calculation on these UFO hi-hats, only took 6 to light this entire building. And it's a good infill light too. I don't have any like weird shadow casting when I'm working on stuff. And anything that I can't see straight off the bat, you just supplement with like a light bar or something, depending on what you're working on. And they're super low wattage. They don't throw off a lot of heat, so it helps the building stay cool. If you put big old halogens or those phosphorus lights in here, you'd freaking melt. So this is another project I gotta do on those 10x10 doors to help get this building sealed up. Basically what these do are interface with the door, kind of make a seal, kind of like a brush material. Because even though the doors themselves have kind of like a little seal around them, and these are actually insulated doors, which help a lot too, air and bugs and stuff still get through here, so it's hard to thermally control the building. So when this door is fully coiled, the very bottom of the door sits completely flush with the outside trim. But when the door is closed, and I don't know if you can see it on video, there's a giant gap up there. So positive pressure air is going up in there, whether it be hot or cold. And then even on the sides, there's still air that gets through here. So that brush material interfaces with the door and kind of seals all that out. Another thing I thought that would be cool to kind of custom up the shop is this wall is just super plain, and you can't really hang anything on the insulation itself, so you're limited to maybe bolting stuff to the girts that go back and forth. So what I want to do is wall all this in, and then maybe do like a shiplap from top to bottom to kind of, you know, spruce up the wall, and then allow me to, you know, bolt signs and other cool stuff to the wall. Drop in the comments what you think about that, and maybe even color combinations that would look good, because we got a lot of white, brown, white and brown. This video was really supposed to come out last year, but things came up and it kind of took a little longer than I expected. So I just want to thank all the subscribers and new subscribers that have started following the channel, giving the likes and the subscribes. Really helps me. I know last year when YouTube changed the way everybody was going to get monetized, it was kind of like a mad dash to get over 1,000 subs, and not only did we get over 1,000 subs, but we're now at 1,600, so that's awesome. Appreciate all you guys. If you're a new subscriber or thinking about it, check out some of the old videos, kind of see what the channel's about, and then, you know, sign up. For those wondering about the stickers that we're selling, there are 3 options. So the sticker itself is just over 12 inches long and is just going to be the top part. It's not going to have, obviously, the channel information on it. It comes in 3 colors. It's going to be white, all red, or the outer strip red and the FD red. So if you're interested, check them out, buy them. All they're going to do is help the channel more. See you guys in the next video. Rain, rain, rain. I bet even the ducks wouldn't come out in weather like this. But me, I'm an idiot.